Hi, I'm Wild Bill, and this is an open letter to a very well-attended YouTube poster named Metatron. He steals the name of an ancient angel from Enoch. And yeah, if you're not original enough to come up with your own name, bud, then you should do what I did, Wild Bill, and then establish that you are the wildest Bill. That's how I do that. I asked a friend one day, I says, am I not the wildest Bill ever? And he looked at me a second, he said, without a gun? Oh, absolutely. That's what I mean. So to that end, I'm going to post my finest rant, about number 8 on my finest rants chart ever. This is an open letter of response to you, Metatron, and your belief that the medieval armored knight was important in any way, shape, or form except as a way of promulgating the myth of the great families. This is an excerpt from a letter to a best beloved, so you'll understand my calling him that. One thing is certain, best beloved, he, Metatron, doesn't know archery, which was one of my superpowers in days gone by, mind you, at Pittsburgh University. I regularly outshot an experienced, avid, younger, half my age, deer hunter wielding a compound bow, myself using only Mick's dad's 50-pound pull recurve. True facts. Every shot from either of us would have drilled a medieval knight clean through before he reached us. Every one. Archers ruled ancient battlefields, not hoplites or mounted knights. I ask you, David, how did King Harry die? This historical focus on archery is absolute mystery to Metatron. He's convinced that swords were the weapon of choice for the samurai, which they so weren't. It was Daiku first and foremost. Read your history. And get this, the real legendary military unit was the Welsh archer, English yeoman archer, was it not? And the samurai archer, and the Mongol horseborn archer, and the Saracen mounted archer, and the cataphract. Notice that armored knights do not rank on that chart. There are good solid reasons for that. The knight is a shock trooper. They, knights, are meant to be expended in bloody charges, and they were. That's why we were so regaled by their exploits when we were children. Their survival was so unlikely, I cite the whole of the Crusades as proof. But our histories are driven by the great men myth, so knights, noble sons, are rife in the literature. Not nearly as important in life as the chroniclers asserted. The archer is a seasoned professional, the real killer on the battlefield. Most armies stood inside of arrow range and had at one another until the arrows ran low. In fact, when firearms became prevalent, the new sexy profession was musketeer. By the time of Jan Hus, the Hussites, remember? The early 1500s, all regular European-style troops contained pike and musket, but only a unit's leader was armored to any high standard. This is made apparent in Metatron's own history. Italian city-states produced the finest military of all time, the condottieri. Ask me about them sometime, best beloved. Scary, David. I am no scholar, but I wax high in niche field knowledge, and this is one of those niches. To this end, exploiting my understanding of old-time warfare, I composed Conversations with the Dragon, 200,000 words outlining the purpose and usage of troops on an ancient 1186 Christian-era Japanese battleground. And a bunch of Mahoka, wizardly-themed fun using the various sites and ideas holy to Shinto. I mean, it's an epic fantasy, not a reworking of Von Krieg. Am I an expert? No. Neither is Metatron. Honest. In any case and by any measure imaginable other than hubris, arrows, projectiles, artillery killed the most troops, I have a tick there, on every battlefield ever. Knights are a tiny fraction of the whole, any way we slice them. Metatron, son of knights, is guilty of confirmation bias as a result. In fact, every smith was busy making not armor, but arrowheads. Why? Armor is only armor. The same session of smithery can either produce nails, rivets, and arrowheads, all from the same drawn wire, Or the smith can be learning from an armorer how to fix your suit. Arrows and nails win war. Am I the only one who understands this? Am I mad, in other words? Nah. I bring weight of truth wherever I go. Observe. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of the horse, the rider was lost. For want of the rider, the message was lost. For want of the message, the battle was lost. For want of the battle, the kingdom was lost. All for the want of a horseshoe nail. I found this in 5 different languages on Wikipedia. That's how important it is, Metatron. Get your act together. You're an expert. You're a role model. You got a lot of people listen to you. Start covering the real history instead of casting this beautiful spell over people. You're using your powers to the wrong end. Wild Bill.